Peace and blessings to the family. It is me, Coach 67 Sports TV. Shout out to the awesome and amazing LDBC, Lions Den Boxing community. Shout out to the Louisiana All-American Sports Network. And shout out to the greatest university in the world, the Southern University, home of the mighty Jaguars. This is the Tailgate Party, Season 1, Episode 23. What is next for Southern University football? I plan on being here for a good time, not a long time. I'm a little bit under the weather. These allergies. I can't stand this time of year because anytime there's a sudden shift in weather change here in South Louisiana, if it goes from being cold to warm and warm back to cold like it's been lately, like my allergies really start acting up, start flaring up. My eyes itch, they water, nose runs like a faucet, it drips into my throat, all that other stuff. But I'm not gonna get into that. But I'm not gonna be here long. Of course, first and foremost, I want y'all to join our Southern University Facebook group. Uh, you know, just join the group. You know, dialogue, conversation, the whole nine. You know what I'm saying? Salute to Teldron Leathers. His comment is no longer visible because I think it was, when it comes to YouTube, if the comment is so many hours old, then it just disappears. But salute to Teldron Leathers, one of the day one subscribers, you know what I'm saying? He said, "What up, coach? Man, salute to your family. Salute to Motivation to Be a Millionaire." He said, "Salute, Coach 67. Chat HBCU family and Jaguar Nation. Salute to your motivation to be a millionaire. Hopefully everyone had a happy MLK Day. You know, in this area, a lot of people didn't do marches, but, anything we could do to keep the legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. alive, we need to do it because individuals like him, paved the way for us to be where we are today. And motivation to be a millionaire, put Go Jags. Yes, sir. Salute to your family. Salute to Relax and Calm Rain. He said, salute Coach 67, chat, HBCU family, and Jaguar Nation. Salute to your Relax and Calm Rain. Relaxing and calming rain. Salute to your family. He said, big things popping and Jaguar Nation. Oh, without question. I mean, this recruiting class, I think it's, first of all, Southern University hiring Coach Falk, I think it gave a lot of energy to Jaguar Nation. There's a lot of enthusiasm, and everything is trending in the right direction. I mean, he put together a very good coaching staff, and I think from a recruiting standpoint, they did a great job in recruiting. I think the only thing about it is I think they got some good young quarterbacks from high school coming into college, but I still think you need to get that quarterback that's going to be head and shoulders above every other quarterback in the SWAC. I think you need to get that guy. Then in addition to that, I think you need some dogs up front on that defensive line. You need to go out and get you like a DeMarcus Miller type, a Gillis Wilson, Joe Williams, Kendall Shello, them type of cats. You need you some, a couple dog linebackers, a handful of dog cornerbacks to kind of complement Herman Bristol III. I think you need to get your elite level defense and elite level quarterback. You already bringing in some pretty good offensive linemen. It's going to be interesting to see if they can sign all of those offensive linemen. If you can sign all those offensive linemen, and you got Trey Holly, you got Barry Remo, you got Crosby coming in from Texas A&M. The sky's the limit at this point for Southern University. And he put Go Jags, yes sir, without question. Man, salute to Adrian Crook. Salute to the family. He said, Coach, they came in crying to you. Well, I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna keep it a buck. I done had people behind the scenes, basically, like, hey man, coach, why you hard on GSU with the woo? I'm like, look, man, when it comes to the SWAC and all these different SWAC Facebook groups and just all across multiple social media platforms, like Jackson State has the most vocal fan base, the most vocal, the most boisterous, whatever the case may be. And I'm not gonna lie, I enjoy a little bit of good trash talking, a little banter back and forth. But when my subscribers, the diehard members of Jaguar Nation, and myself, when we say something back, because I'm not gonna lie, just looking, especially on X, it's like a lot of Jackson State fans are more concerned about the individuals committing to Southern University than the Jackson State fans are concerned about the players committing to Jackson State. So, I mean, it's like, why I put up a fuss over a team that only won 2 wins? I had 2 wins. I mean, a 2-win team. This is the worst. This past season was the worst Southern University team I've seen in my life. The worst Southern University defense I've seen in my life. So at the end of the day, it's like, I mean, y'all team lost in the SWAC championship game. Like, to me, it seems like y'all should be worried about PV and not worried about Southern. I mean, that's just my personal opinion. You know what I'm saying? Uh, Man, salute to my brother Jared Lovin Green. After, I'll do this live stream probably in a couple hours. I'm gonna hop over to his channel and we're gonna do a reaction to national championship game last night and a divisional round in the NFL playoffs. My brother Jared Lovin Green says still at work but listening in between clients. Man, salute to your fam. Appreciate the support. Man, salute to your boy Jay, Southern University. He said, salute, coach. Coach Jags. Yes, sir. Uh, I can't I can't highlight that comment, but Adrian Cook said, if them JSU fans, man, Cook, you something else, bro. Motivated, eh, motivated, dedicated, 98. He said, I don't even look on X. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you. Them JSU fans, they be running wild on X. I'm not gonna lie. Really, I'm gonna be truthful. I see them like on all social media platforms, but I think they rock the heaviest on X and then all these different Facebook groups like, Roughing the SWAC with Avis Heath and Swag and the Fool and Swag Beef, Swag Sports Talk, like all the different Facebook groups. Like, they just be going ham in these different Facebook groups, you know what I'm saying? Your boy Jay say the UL signee will bring one of the best wide receivers in the SWAC. He is top 3 receiver, top 3 in receiving yards for ULL last year. All right, well, I'm gonna be honest with you. We always talk about the quarterback is coming, and I'm gonna be honest with you. The kid, the quarterback, I can't forget. I got his name, the kid from Kentucky. One thing I like about him, he always posting stuff to Instagram in terms of him working out, him constantly working on his game, him constantly being in the lab. Jay Good kind of compared him to a little Johnny Manziel, a little Kyler Murray. I like his game, and of course Ted Couillon, from the city. I think he has a lot of talent. But even with that being said, I still think Southern University needs the experienced quarterback. I'm gonna keep it a buck. People might say, "Hey, it's a reach." From what I'm understanding, if Andrew Body does not get like the big time offer he really wanted, he may go back to Alabama State. I'm gonna keep it a buck. He's 1 year eligibility left. He's injury prone. I'll take him at Southern at this point, just to be honest. Especially with Trey Holly and Crosby and Remo, and then the offensive line that it looks like they're gonna have. If all of those players that committed to Southern, if they actually sign, if they could get that offensive line in addition to that offensive line, keep Holly healthy, Remo, Crosby. And I'm going to be honest with you. I know I would definitely take Andrew Body. And Body and Holly together, whoo, man, hey, it'll be a problem for the rest of the SWAC. Double X use _R. Yo, bro, you know what happens when you can make them laugh and giggle. Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about, fam. But salute to you. Adrian Crook say, the wet and mushy. Woo! Man, Crook. Boy, Crook is Crook, you something else. He said, you telling me Gallup ain't got no sugar in his tank? That's news to me. Now, man, who is this? Hold up, man. Hold on. Let's get him out of here. In fact, I got the rented stuff straight. Man, let's get this weirdo out of here. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, like I was saying though, so for Southern University, I think they have a really, really good recruiting class. I think even some of these incoming freshmen are going to be better than a lot of players they had last year. I mean, don't get me wrong, Southern has some serviceable players, but truthfully speaking, a lot of the starters were not good on last year's team. And in addition to that, some of those backers weren't even playable. But from a talent standpoint, look, hey. In fact, Adrian Crook, how you do the wrench thing, man? I'm not gonna lie, like Jazz supposed to walk me through it. Let me see. And I'm not on my computer, I'm on my phone, so yeah, I'm gonna have to figure the wrench thing out. But Jared, he always uses a computer. I use my phone, so well, at least for a while I've been using my phone. I hadn't been using a computer because it been lagging too much and people was complaining about the live streams. Your boy Jay said I wouldn't be shocked if one Sac State quarterback come here. He said two of them are in the portal, and our OC was retweeting one of them on X or Twitter. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm surprised they didn't get the Sac State quarterback by now. Truthfully speaking, James Franklin, salute to your family. He said, salute, coach. He said, did we get a quarterback from the portal? No, we didn't. All of the quarterbacks Southern has thus far, they have the kid from Compton. They got a kid from Kentucky. And, of course, they got Tig coming in from the city. So, for the most part, all the Southern University incoming quarterbacks are true freshmen as of this moment. We talked about R.J. Johnson III, him potentially coming to Southern. I talked to a couple people behind the scenes that was kind of almost certain that he was going to go to Southern. But from my understanding, I don't know how accurate it is, so don't quote me on this. But, he was really interested in, coming, back home or close to home. And he was real interested in coming to Southern. But I think Massachusetts swooped in and they gave him an offer he couldn't refuse. And as a result, he ended up taking his talents to Massachusetts. So, I mean, I really can't be mad at him. I can't be mad at him for doing what's in his own best interest. But at the end of the day, I'm going to keep it a buck. Like, I think he would have fit good with Southern. But even with that being said, I wish him well. I wish him the best. Because, at my school, he is a first cousin that goes to my school. And, man, and shout out, salute the coach. When the football coaches, he coached football and basketball at my school, she was sitting like a few rows under him. And I'm like, man, what you know what fam you get on? Like, you got the wrong paraphernalia on. But, a cousin played for FAMU. He came, He came to AW and he played well. You know what I'm saying? So sky's the limit for him. I wish him well. You never know. He might end up spinning the block at some point if stuff don't work out in Massachusetts. But I mean, it is what it is, though. You know what I'm saying? Derek Banks, 5630. Man, salute to your family. He said hello from Kansas City, Missouri. Man, salute to your fam. I know it's cold out there in Kansas City. I had a cousin that used to live in Kansas City. Uh, hey, if I was complaining about 41 the other day, it was 41 and windy. And you said it was 14 degrees where you were. Oh, man, I couldn't make it out there because guess what? My nose, I'm a little congested now as we speak. So if I'm congested and it's what? Let me see. Let me see what the weather looked like. I mean, it was 35 this morning, I think. But it warmed up. It's 61 degrees right now. So, yeah, I'm not going to lie. I can handle, if I'm tripping on 35, I know I can handle no 14, you know what I'm saying? But salute to you, Derek Banks. Your boy Jay say we won't hear about a Porter quarterback till signing day at this point. Yeah, and for those individuals that don't know, National Signing Day is February the 14th, which is in basically a couple weeks. And the irony to me is, I mean, I don't know how it worked. Jay Good was kind of filling me in about it behind the scenes. But right now, today is the day after MLK. It's January the 30th. The portal closed on January the 16th, which was Friday. So if it closed on Friday, then National Signing Day until the 14th. Hold on one second, fam. All right, I got people calling me. But it is what it is. But like I said, National Signing Day is February the 4th. The portal closed on Friday, which was January the 16th. So it's kind of a little bit of a gap to me, but I mean, it is what it is. So I think your boy Jay is right. I don't think you're gonna hear about a quarterback until probably National Signing Day, which is February the 14th. Derek Banks said, "Hell yeah, hell yuck." Turner Boy say, "Any words on the kicker?" I hadn't heard anything but a kicker, but I'm gonna keep it a buck. No disrespect to Nathan Zimmer, but Nathan Zimmer was a true freshman coming out of Central, and I'm not gonna lie, I think Southern need a more experienced kicker with a bigger leg. It is what it is. Derek Banks said 8 this weekend. Woo! Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, Derek Banks. I couldn't handle that. Adrian Crook said it's closed to people entering the portal. All right. So it's closed to people entering the portal, but at the same token, National Signing Day is a couple weeks away. So yeah, in fact, 2 weeks away from tomorrow. So uh, from what I'm understanding, uh they still probably gonna pick up uh, probably another handful of players from what I heard. You never know how that's gonna really work out, but at the end of the day, I think Coach Falk and the staff has done an excellent job. You know, I can't be mad at him. Derek Banks said 50% chance of snow Saturday, ready to come home, get some gumbo. But that's the crazy thing about it though, Derek Banks. There's a chance for snow on Sunday here in South Louisiana. So I'm not saying it's gonna snow, but it's strong possibility. You know what I'm saying? Can y'all hear me? Cause it was bad enough when somebody was calling another phone, but they calling both phones now. Hey, put a one in the chat if you can hear me. Put a two in the chat if you can't hear me. All right, you see you you can hear me. All right. Uh, Adrian Crook said everyone is still shopping. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna be honest with you. Southern still needs some savages, some dogs up front on that D line. You definitely gonna need to get somebody to replace Kelvin Givens. You gonna need a bookend to go opposite of him. You're gonna need a couple DeMarcus Miller type defensive tackles to solidify that front four. You're gonna need you another linebacker, a couple linebackers. You're probably gonna need you maybe a handful of DBs to go with Herman Bristol the third. So, there's a lot of things Southern needs, you know what I'm saying? But they still got time to pick up everything they need. Your boy G said the staff is moving fast. We will have a bunch more kids in a visit this weekend again. All right. All right. Everybody said they hear me. But like I said, truthfully speaking, I really think that's the main issues they really need to address. They need to get that elite level quarterback. That's gonna be like the Andrew Body type, Devontae Kincaid, uh, Quincy Richard senior year. Who else? Bryant Lee type quarterback. You need that guy. You need your handful of savages up front on that front four. You need your couple linebackers. You need your handful of defensive backs. You need your elite level kicker. I'm not gonna lie. I knew the kid from Grambling. I'm not gonna lie. That boy was a dog. I already knew he was gonna end up going to a Power Four school. I didn't think he was gonna end up going to Colorado, but I'm not surprised because from what I'm understanding, Dion still has feelers out in the SWAC to kind of keep an eye on what's going on in the SWAC. From a SWAC perspective. But I'm not gonna lie, like for the most part, I think Coach Falk and staff has done an excellent job. But even with that being said, there's still more work to be done that needs to be done. Jesse Weems, he said, "How did Southern University do in the transport? Do you think we got good players?" Oh, without question, I'm not gonna lie. Like Southern got a bunch of good players in the transfer portal. The running back room was already deep, but you added another running back from Texas A&M. Because when somebody told me Texas A&M running back, a running back was coming from Texas A&M, I immediately thought of Le'Veon Moss, but it wasn't him. It was the Crosby kid. But watching footage on him, he pretty good. Southern got some good wide receivers. The offensive line look like it's gonna be nasty. Maybe you'll get back to some of these offensive lines of the '90s when you had, some good players on your offensive line. So hopefully you get your aggressive, nasty offensive line to complement Holly, complement Crosby, complement Remo. Southern has a ton of running backs. It's gonna be interesting to see how they're gonna use the backs in the go-go offense. You know, of course, the go-go offense is a spread offense. You got two backs like in an eye type look or even side by side. Are they gonna use like Amarian Asbury and Mike Franklin? Is kind of like a traditional, back in a triple option where they're that kind of power back going up the middle. Are they gonna use them as like lead blockers? Truthfully speaking, I'm not gonna lie. Me personally, with Trey Holland, Barry Remo, hey, you want those guys to touch the ball. Mike Franklin and Amari Asbury, they might not be accustomed to being used in that role. I'm not saying they don't get touches, but I'm not gonna lie, you're gonna want Trey Holland to touch the ball. I mean, you got a stable of backs. So, it's gonna be interesting to see how everything looks. And not only that, from a balance standpoint, how much do they run the ball, even though The go-go offense is primarily a running offense. It's going to be interesting to see how much balance they have in the offense. Whether it's like 65% uh, run, is it 60% run, 40% pass? But even with despite how it looks, you need your competent passer as a quarterback. Cameron McCoy did enter the transfer portal. But with that being said, I know he's a good athlete, but truthfully speaking, he was like Bashawn McCray 2.0. I mean, the Bayou Classic was probably the best game he played all season. And even with that being said, he still only went 6 to 18 as a passer. So you're gonna need somebody that's gonna be a very competent, highly proficient passer, and that's a legitimate dual threat. Because when they talk about Jalen Woods, of course, he hit the portal. He went to Hampton. I wish him well, but he really wasn't a legitimate dual threat. He was more of a mobile pocket passer. And for those individuals that don't know what a mobile pocket passer is, more along the lines of a Warren Moon. You wouldn't put a Warren Moon type quarterback in like a go-go offense style offense. You would more that's want to put him in like a West Coast offense, a run and shoot, something where he can be predominantly a pocket passer. Your boy Jay say this will be the best O-line look since Odom years. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. This offensive line is really looking up. So, I think once you get you a quarterback that's gonna kind of be head and shoulders above the other quarterbacks in your quarterback room and just in the SWAC in general, I think the offensive side of the ball is solidified. But you really need to get back to being a 90s style defense in terms of 93, 95 dog day defense. Like you need you some savages on the defense to kind of get back to where it used to be. Because truthfully speaking, I'm not gonna lie, Southern has not had an elite level defense in some years. Hold on 1 second, fam. Hold on. All right. Man, hey, I should have did the live stream a little bit later because, man, hey, phone ringing, doorbell ringing, the whole nine. But excuse me. But even with that being said, your boy T makes a valid point. The offensive line is going to be a lot better than it's been in a long time since the Dawson Odoms era. But more than anything, I think for Southern to be the Southern of old, the offensive line is coming together. You got a good running. I mean, you got a good room of running backs. The running back room is going to be stacked. I think it's going to be imperative that Southern gets an elite level quarterback, an elite level defense, and an elite level punter and an elite level kicker. I think once they get those things, because truthfully speaking, The punt and kick returner has kind of been addressed. That's been an area that's been addressed, in my personal opinion. And I'm not gonna lie, they got good players at all levels on both sides of the ball. But I think that's the thing that's really missing, at least in my mind, just based on what I'm seeing. A lot of the players that they got are good players in terms of. I think some people are under the impression that every player that Southern gets has to be a superstar. You're not gonna have a team full of superstars. It's not gonna happen. Some guys are gonna be role players. Some guys are gonna be key contributors. But for the expectation that every player is gonna be a superstar, every player is gonna be an elite level player, every player is gonna be a dominant player. Hey, even if we're gonna say if you're the Cowboys of the '90s, right? I mean, you had Troy Aikman at quarterback, had Emmitt Smith at running back. You had probably the best offensive line in NFL history. You had Michael Hayes. Let me say Michael Hayes. Michael Irvin at wide receiver. But Michael Irvin was a dog. But on the opposite side, Alvin Harper was a dog too, from the standpoint of he wasn't the number one, but he definitely complimented Michael Irvin. So at the end of the day, I think, you look at the running backs, wide receivers. I think Southern has great players everywhere, but I think, you need to get you that quarterback, but you need to get you that savage defense that could be like that 93 dog day defense or that 95 dog day defense. At the end of the day, I think everything coming together, the sky's the limit for Southern University at this point. You know what I'm saying? Your boy Jay said they will have their guy at quarterback by signing day. It's just so quiet because they are trying to find their guy, not a guy. Yeah, I mean, they definitely don't want to jag. And for those individuals that don't know what it is, that's football coach term for just another guy. You don't want to jag. You want, an elite level guy. And truthfully speaking, I think that guy is going. I think they're gonna get that guy. You know what I'm saying? But you're right, and I think part of it is, because I've been seeing like Graham been getting some good recruits lately too. But from what I'm understanding, I think they kind of want to keep some of these guys that they have under wraps from the perspective of, some of the guys been getting poached. You know what I'm saying? After the whole Zion Chris situation. Now, don't get it twisted. Zion, he never committed to Southern. So let's be clear about that. But even with that being said, when players post their offers and they drive their value up and they get interest and attention from other institutions and other universities, I mean, it's going to be what it's going to be. And I think, I've been saying this a lot lately. A lot of people say, the players that play for HBCUs, this, that, and the third. But look at all of the players from HBCUs that's been going to Power 4 schools. So at the end of the day, you can say what you want. Like, Power 4 schools been using HBCUs the last couple of years as a breeding ground to add depth to their roster. They've been using HBCUs as a breeding ground to add depth to their roster. So at the end of the day, I don't blame schools like Southern and Grambling for trying to keep certain players under wraps. Man, salute to T. Lathers, 1906. I shouted you out early in the live stream. You had already said what's up, but I couldn't go live yesterday because my mom wanted me to do something. She was like, "Oh, I need you to do something." I'm like, "Yeah, you had already told me. I'm gonna take care of it. I'm gonna take care of it now." No, I don't want you to do this. I want you to do something else. And then something else took me like a couple hours. But I got home just in time enough to watch the national championship game. I'm like, oh man. So it is what it is. But man, salute to you. Finally able to get the live stream out the way. Of course, the doorbell been ringing, the phone been ringing, but it is what it is. But overall, like I said, I'm thoroughly pleased with thus far with Southern University's recruiting class. Like I said, I think they just need some savages up front on their D line, and I'm not just talking about like some good players. I'm talking about like I say, some savages like, Joe Williams, like Kendall Shello, like Gillis Wilson. You need some bookends like that. You need your a few DeMarcus Miller type defensive tackles. You need your couple Channing Warner, Chris Cooper type linebackers. You need your couple defensive backs, like a Jared Wilson Jr., like a Lenny Williams, like a John Williams. Whoever, you know what I'm saying? You need another safety to kind of complement Herman Bristol III. It's going to be interesting to see if Eric Reed Jr. is going to be healthy. From what I saw, he didn't play none of this past season because he was banged up like the entire season. So, it is what it is. But I think the main thing that needs to be addressed is the quarterback position, especially defense. Like, if you could get through like a 93, 95 type dog day defense, yeah, you definitely cooking with some Crisco. You know what I'm saying? Teljan Lathers said, we got some good commitments. Just waiting on our signal caller. Yeah, it's coming. It's definitely coming, without question. It's coming, like I said. National Signing Day is 2 weeks away from tomorrow. And of course, you already know I'm going to have a special live stream just for that. But it's coming. You know what I'm saying? I say, Bayou Kid 225, salute to your fam. Jesse Southern did good in the portal. All right. He said, I just want that win against Jackson. I'm going to keep it a buck. I don't just want to win against Jackson. I want to win against everybody. Now, whether that comes in year one, under the helm, year one at the helm for Coach Falk, year two, no later than year three. But either way, I want a SWAC championship. I want a Celebration Bowl victory. And I want Southern to get back to being what they used to be. And I not only want Southern to be, SWAC dominant, HBCU football dominant. I'm talking about FCS dominant, and definitely dominant from an FCS standpoint in the state of Louisiana. And not only that, but I want not just Southern, but the SWAC as a whole. Let me be clear. The SWAC as a whole is a conference, just to beat the brakes off of everybody else. I'm tired of seeing SWAC schools lose, especially the Southern Conference schools. I cannot stand the Southern Conference. Anytime I see a SWAC school go up against a Southern Conference school, especially Nicholls State, McNeese State, Northwestern State, Southeastern, whoever, the SWAC need to beat every Southern Conference school they play against. If it's a Southern Conference school on the SWAC school schedule, I want them to get their behind beat. And not only that, but realistically, I think if you are a fan of the MEAC, you're looking at the SWAC conference as a whole is being overhyped and overrated. And at the end of the day, I think not only Southern University, but the SWAC as a whole, they need to get back to where they used to be. And I think basically the Blue Bloods need to become Blue Bloods again. But anyway, like I was saying, I need Southern University to get back to being a gold standard of HBCU football. But more than anything, I'm tired of SWAC being a top-heavy conference. This past season, you got past PV, Jackson State, and Alabama State. In my personal opinion, people could say I'm wrong or not. I feel like the rest of the conference was trash. Just to keep it a buck, just to be honest. I need the Blue Bloods to get back to being Blue Bloods. Of course, primarily Southern, but definitely Grambling. Grambling need to get back to being Grambling. And definitely FAMU need to get back, to being FAMU. I think, with them hiring Quinn Gray, I think he probably going to trend closer to what Willie Simmons was. Maybe not in terms of winning the SWAC, but, James Colsey, he really, Willie Simmons had a good thing going. And, for Willie Simmons to have a good thing going and James Cozy to really not, not keep that ship going steady. And like, But at the end of the day, that's what I'm really looking forward to. You know what I'm saying? Your boy Jay say, these two transfer wide receivers are some playmakers. We find a quarterback, we will be hard to stop. Yeah, but not only that, but I mean, your boy Jay, you definitely got to get the defensive component squared away too. I'm not gonna lie. I not only want an elite level quarterback, but I want an elite level defense. I want an elite level punter. I want an elite level kicker. I think if you could, everything is going good, but I think if you could add them last few ingredients to the meal, I think you got something special there. You know what I'm saying? T. Leathers, 1906. He said, I saw the ULL transfer wide receiver. Who's the other receiver and where he from? I'm not gonna lie, Jay Good sent me the other receiver. I can't remember where he's from. But more than anything, I'm not gonna lie, like it's been so many good players at Southern University that's been picking up. I hadn't been able to keep track, but of course you already know when National Signing Day is official, just like I did last year for the live stream. I'm gonna have all the players listed, and we're gonna go through each player by player. Because I'm not gonna lie, last year's National Signing Day class, it kind of caught me off guard from the standpoint. I thought they were gonna be better than what they were, but they really wasn't. But we'll see how things play out. All right, family. I appreciate everybody that came through, showed love. Tailgate Leathers, your boy Jay, Icy Bayou Kid, Jesse Reams, Herschel Vaughn, 6183, Derek Banks, Adrian Cook, Derek Banks, Turner Boys. Definitely shout out to Turner Boys. Salute to your fam. James Franklin, 2874. Salute to you. Motivated, dedicated, 98. Salute to you. My brother Jared 11 Green. In a couple hours, we're gonna be live on his channel to have a recap of the national championship game in a divisional round in the NFC. I mean, not gonna be saying NFC, the NFL. Motivation to be a millionaire, relaxing, calm reign. Salute to everybody that came through. Your boy Jay said, Dejon Smith from Carr. He went to La Tech, committed a few weeks ago. All right, then. So he answered the question for you. But overall, this was a good live stream. Like I said from the outset, I planned on being here for a good time, not a long time. I got to go handle some BI, but I appreciate everybody that dropped in, that came through, that showed some love. Like I said, on my brother Jared Levin Green channel, in a couple hours, be certain to come through and come check us out. We're going to talk about the national championship game last night between Indiana and Miami. Indiana was able to pull it out. They beat Miami 27-21. We also going to talk about the NFL divisional playoffs. Catch y'all on the rebound. You have a blessed, phenomenal evening. Of course, this weekend, I'm definitely going to do another live stream. In fact, I might, instead of me doing a live stream, I think I might just do a long-form video, probably about the same length of this live stream. But I appreciate everybody that dropped in, that came through, that showed some love. I appreciate everybody that's going to watch it later on playback. But, I mean, it is what it is. I'll catch y'all on the rebound. Y'all have a blessed, phenomenal evening. Peace and blessings to the family. And go Jags. You dig?